Hi everyone, welcome to Viewers Mistakes number 11. This is the series where I rate drivers and riders from A to F depending on risk. How do you think each party does in this clip? Are your ratings going to be the same as mine? As with all these clips, my viewer sent this in saying that they made a mistake, but I don't think they did too bad of a job. Obviously, we've got some traffic calming at this natural pinch point. The traffic from the opposite direction should be given priority, but there's no one there at the minute, so my viewer can pass through this giveaway line. So there's no mistake from my viewer at this point. Their speed is good and they're dealing with this with the appropriate care. But the driver of the white car has taken priority when it needs to be given first. You can tell this with their positioning. So my viewer holds back, slows down and waits. Again, exactly what they should do. But the driver of the oncoming vehicle wants to make it a problem. Remember, they did not have priority because there was already another car committed and continuing through. They should have held back. So they get a D for causing the whole issue, although it wasn't too high in risk. But up until this point, my viewer's done a pretty good job. But now they ruin it. Instead of driving over the pavement, maybe just reverse a little, and because of this, you get a B. Just 2 cyclists featured in this clip, so I'm definitely going to be anti-cyclist just for featuring it. Anyway, my viewer goes to overtake this other cyclist at the wrong time. The clues were there as well. Let's have a quick look at that one again. Straight from the off, my viewer's catching the other cyclist, and if you are going to overtake, the responsibility falls on your shoulders. Even from here, we can see the other cyclist is all over the cycle path, and there's no communication from my viewer whatsoever. They don't alter their speed, and they choose to pass on the left when no one will be expecting it. At this point, there are also further clues. The other cyclist in front has stopped pedalling, and you can see that she's looking slightly to the left-hand side. My viewer should have held back until they were certain, but at least they were good enough to fix it. The cyclist in front gets a B. She's pretty obviously not an experienced road user, and the people with more experience need to look after her. And my viewer gets a D. Like I said, there were plenty of clues, and don't overtake on the left. In this clip, another undertaking mistake. Just about got away with that one. There are a lot of similarities between the last clip and this though. My viewer was always going to be quicker than the van towing the trailer. I would have positioned in lane 2 and just held back and waited for the van to clear. But where they were positioned put them in a situation where they were unlikely to be seen. The driver of the Audi is also going to be faster than the van towing the trailer. So, if the van driver's doing the correct thing, what are they going to do? In this situation, the bare minimum should be to hold back behind the trailer, put a right signal on until the van driver puts a left and moves back, and then you can switch. But my viewer puts himself exactly where he doesn't want to be at the time he doesn't want to be there, and for that reason they get a D. But so does the van driver. They need to do a better lane change than that. As with all the clips, my viewer sent this in thinking they made a mistake, but honestly I think they aced it. The other driver gets a D, my viewer A star. It was the rash change of mind that made this situation potentially dangerous. If you think you've gone the wrong way, just go the wrong way. Sat-navs reroute easily, and it will often only add a minute or so to your journey. It's not worth crashing. I would have slowed more now, positioned out to the right further, so I was ready to see who was going to follow the lorry. But now my viewer's moving out where they've got very little chance to change their mind and come back to the left-hand side. This is a common mistake that many people make. This can be risky at times, but in this situation, I'm going to give my viewer a C. There is a car coming, and my viewer commits. Do you think my viewer had enough time to slow and use the space before the dark trailer? In any case, the other driver makes it worse. They also get a C. I'll also be interested in what you think of the horn use in that clip. It's only my viewer involved in this clip. The driver of this tractor and trailer do their utmost to aid traffic flow. Doesn't mean that you've got to overtake at that point though. This was a little risky, but the oncoming cars did move over nicely, so my viewer gets a C. But only a little further up, this side of the road splits into 2 lanes. So why even bother? Driving on autopilot, and I don't mean the Tesla version, is a cause of many problems. Look at the colour of the lights. In a different situation this could have been a lot worse, but here, it's only a B. We can see by the sign coming up on the left that my viewer's approaching a roundabout, and they fail to pick up on the direction of travel of the Mercedes that enters. For me it's pretty obvious the Mercedes driver is not going into the road my viewer's exiting from. They're doing a U-turn. This is allowed but not recommended. My viewer just needed to slow down more. But they don't. They do this instead.
What are you doing, mate? What are you doing? Dashcam. 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 What are you doing?
For me, attitude is everything when using the road, and no one in this clip gets any credit. The occupants in the Mercedes get an E, but my viewer gets an F. They obviously don't use my phrase enough. Make it a non-event. Some nice clean crisp footage from a VFO dashcam. This is the base model and it still produces excellent results. Links are in the description. Use the code Ashley and save yourself a further 5%. Now that was down to the learner driver to lane change safely, but what was my viewer's contribution? First of all, listen to the rate of acceleration. My viewer's also approaching on the left-hand bend, and when people wish to move out to the right, they'll just routinely check maybe the middle and the right mirror. And if that was done at this point, my viewer's maybe not visible, and the rate of catch then surprises the learner driver. Most people commonly think learner drivers should drive impeccably, and that's not the case. The learner driver's already showing their hand, and my viewer's too fast. My viewer reacts brilliantly, but their contribution was also high. They get a D. The learner driver car would have been at fault if there was a collision, but what grade do you give them? Let me know in the comments. To finish, we've got quite a serious clip. Thankfully, no one gets hurt, but it again highlights the danger in difference of speed. Watch the car in the left lane. My viewer was questioning whether or not that they should have moved up, and that's a possibility. This may have stopped the young cyclist from riding across. But thankfully, the vehicle to lane 1 was driving slow enough. Just about. But a bit slower may have helped. Keep safe everyone. I'll see you soon.